Good. So now I'm going to move on to the actual assessment and opening of the bladder meridian. So I'll open the bladder meridian, running my hands all the way along the body. And over there. And then come back up to the top. And I would repeat that 3 times on each side. And then I would move on to do my advanced assessment. And I'd start up at the top at bladder 10. And then run down over C1, up between C1 and C2, down over C2, up between C2 and C3. And there's a flick at the bottom there. And run down here at the bottom of the brachiocephalic. Then I come across the 3 major muscles on the neck. And then run all the way down over the top of the withers and across the back. We get a little bit of a reaction at the back there. And then I would come down here, go in between the muscles on the shoulder. Check the back. We start at bladder 13, bladder 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We're getting a bit of reaction between bladder 19 and bladder 23. Then I would go over the top, starting at bladder 25, do bladder 25, 26, 27, 28, and then run down the back leg. I'd go over the top, the sacral tuberosity, go underneath, bottom of the coxal tuberosity, go around the trochanter, a little bit of a reaction there. And we do rib check and stomach checks and run underneath. A little bit of a reaction there. We do the last rib check. Done that. Then we move on to the pain points. So we do P1 and P2, P3, P2, this P3, here a bit of reaction there, and then down the scapular spine at the front, no reaction there. So we had a little bit of reaction from bladder 10 up here, a bit of reaction across these cervical vertebrae, reaction between bladder 19 and bladder 23, a little bit over the sacral tuberosity and the trochanter. So what I would do for this horse initially in the first session would be a pain management session, and I would red light. We'd first of all open up the governing vessel by putting the red light on here and just up and the back way, and then I would go from there onto the bottom of the tail just to open up the governing vessel. Then I would start by levelling up the hyoid. Put the lights up in the zygomatic arch there until the horse relaxes and goes to sleep, and then put them up underneath the chin up here. Then I would red light the pain points, bladder 10. I'd red light the cervical vertebrae, probably with 2 lights, just the cervical vertebrae. I'd come down here. We had a bit of a reaction on the structural test across here, so I would probably red light across the back, across here, and I would red light across these bladder points, bladder 19 to 23. I would red light across the tuberosity, top and bottom, and around the trochanter. And then after that, I would do those sessions 3 times in the first week, with every 2 or 3 days. And then I would reassess, and if there was no improvement, we would have a look at the muscles around these points. I would then red light those muscles on the insertion in the belly of the muscle, and the insertion points and the insertion and attachment points, and they would then reassess And then if there was no improvement, then I would move on to the meridians and use the tap method that we specify for this horse. So we do the stomach meridians and the triple heater. That's it.